Late last year marked the official end of support for Windows 10. No more free security updates, no patches, nothing. If you're still on it, Microsoft just flipped the switch. But instead of a smooth transition to Windows 11, what we're seeing now feels like a forced march into a new era. One where your data gets scrutinized. AI gets shoved everywhere, and holding onto your current setup becomes a calculated risk. Today, we're dissecting Microsoft's master plan of killing off Windows 10, on ramping up surveillance on Windows 11 users, and making AI unavoidable for everyone. And while we unpack this, hit subscribe if you're tracking these shifts. We're building a community that stays ahead. Let's start with the kill switch on Windows 10. Microsoft set the date years ago, October 14th, 2025. That's when extended security updates end for free. After that, if you want any protection, it's $30 a year for consumers, scaling up to $61 per device for businesses. And even higher for enterprises at $244 annually. This isn't a vague promise, it's detailed in their Windows 10 ESU policy document from mid-2025. They framed it as a nudge toward Windows 11, but the reality hits harder. Over 50% of Windows PCs were still on version 10 as of late 2025, per StatCounter data. Microsoft knew this. They extended support once already, from 2025 to 2028 for a fee, but only as a paid bridge. No free ride. Why push so aggressively? Windows 11 requires TPM 2.0, a secure boot chip that's missing on millions of capable machines. Microsoft's PC Health Check tool blocks upgrades outright if your hardware doesn't qualify. Think anything pre-2018 Intel or AMD setups without the right firmware. They even built in forced checks during setup. Result? A massive user base stranded? But here's the pressure tactic starting early 2026. Watermark notifications appeared on unsupported Windows 10 installs saying, switch to Windows 11 or repair your PC. Then came the pop-ups, persistent banners in settings, taskbar warnings, even full screen prompts during updates. Microsoft's February 2026 patch notes confirm they ramped these up post-EOL to guide users to modern experiences. For businesses, it's extended security updates only, no new features, no bug fixes beyond critical vulnerabilities. And those ESU keys? They're enterprise only at first, with consumer rollout delayed and price to discourage. This forces a choice: pay indefinitely, lose security, or upgrade to Windows 11, willingly or not. It's not about safety alone. It's phasing out the old guard to pave the way for what's next. Trust me, this sets up everything else we're covering. Now, with Windows 10 on life support, attention shifts to Windows 11, and the surveillance baked in from day one. Windows has always collected telemetry, but 11 dialed it up. Microsoft's own privacy statement outlines 3 levels: required, mandatory for core functions; optional, user toggleable; and even deeper diagnostics. Required diagnostic data includes device info, app usage, crash reports, and active hours tracking. That's sent to Microsoft every few hours via the Connected User Experiences service. In Windows 11, 24 H2, released fall 2025, they expanded it further. KB 5043083 notes, new telemetry for improved reliability, capturing network activity, battery stats, and peripheral connections always on, non-negotiable. Dig deeper, and it gets more invasive. The compatibility appraiser scans your entire drive for installed software, flagging incompatible programs during upgrades. Windows 11 setup runs this by default, cataloging everything from executables to registry keys. Users on Reddit and Microsoft forums reported in late 2025 that it uploads full inventories to their servers. And Microsoft confirmed in a support doc, telemetry helps ensure a smooth upgrade. But smooth for whom? Your file paths, app versions, even custom configs end up in their cloud for analysis. Then there's the activity history feature enabled out of the box. It logs every app opened, search query, website, visited in Edge, and timeline events, stored locally but syncable to a Microsoft account. Turn on Cloud Sync and it beams to their servers for cross-device access. Privacy settings let you pause it, but it's on by default. And many miss the toggle buried in settings greater than privacy and security greater than activity history. Windows 11 24H. 2 added a timeline across devices, pulling in data from your phone if linked via phone link. Microsoft's blog post on the update calls it seamless continuity, but it means your PC activity feeds into a unified profile. This isn't passive. Telemetry powers targeted updates, like pushing Copilot prompts based on your usage patterns. And with Windows 11's mandatory Microsoft account linkage for new installs, bypassed only via hacks, all this ties to your identity. No local accounts without workarounds. Critics point to the 2023 EU investigation under GDPR, where Microsoft had to publish telemetry details after fines threats, but US users get less transparency. The pattern? Data collection funds their AI ambitions, profiling you to train models. It's not hypothetical. Their 2025 transparency report shows billions of diagnostic events processed monthly. If you're on 11, this is already running. But the real flashpoint, and where spying accusations ignite, is Recall. Launched with Copilot plus PCs in mid-2024, Recall screenshots your screen every few seconds, indexes it with AI for searchable snapshots. Microsoft pitched it as your entire PC history at a glance. Powered by on-device NPUs in Snapdragon X Elite or Intel Lunar Lake chips, it stores encrypted miniatures locally. But security experts tore it apart immediately. Screenshot data could be dumped via forensic tools, and Willow AI's analysis showed keys recoverable in minutes. Passwords, financial sites, everything captured. Microsoft paused it days after launch, citing recall on a recall. By June 2024, they made encryption default and added app opt-outs. But they didn't kill it. Fast forward to Windows 11 24H2, December 2025 preview builds, recall returns, now mandatory with an opt-out toggle. Microsoft's insider blog states it's pre-installed for Copilot plus PCs, but expands to preview on others. KB5044384 confirms the framework deploys via updates, even if full features need NPU hardware. Users report background processes like recall host appearing post-update, indexing enabled unless manually disabled. Here's the rub, even non-Copilot Plus users get components. The agentic framework, referenced in 25H2 notes, lays groundwork, services for screen capture, OCR, and semantic search. On ineligible hardware, it sits dormant but collects. Microsoft's FAQ admits, recall requires specific hardware, but preparatory telemetry enhances future compatibility. Translation: your system preps data now. And with 26 H2 previews in early 2026, locking full AI to ARM/NPU chips, x86 users inherit the surveillance shell without the perks. EU regulators are watching again. 2025 complaints cited it as unwanted monitoring. This feels like spying because it is constant. Visual logging of your workflow justified as intelligence. Forcing AI on everyone ties it all together. Windows 11 isn't optional. AI, it's embedded. Copilot launched in 2023 as a sidebar assistant, querying your files, emails, and browsing. 24H2 makes it unavoidable. Taskbar button always there. Win plus C shortcut baked in. But it escalates. Paint got co-creator AI, Photos got restyle, Snipping tool got transcription, all pulling from cloud models unless opted out. Microsoft's Build 2025 keynote positioned Windows as AI native, with 25H2 adding live captions powered by Azure AI and voice typing everywhere. The hardware lock-in amplifies this. Copilot plus PCs demand 40 plus TO PSNPUs for full features. No Intel/AMD equivalent yet. 24H2 deploys the runtime anyway. Non-qualifying systems get limited. Copilot without local AI, but the push is relentless. Update KB 5050092 from January 2026 mandates Copilot in enterprise environments, out with GPOs to enforce it. For consumers, settings nudges appear, enhance with AI during setup. And telemetry feeds it, your patterns train the models anonymously, per their docs. Windows 11 26 H2, previewed February 2026 as Bromine, cements this. It splits tracks. Full agentic OS on NPU hardware, standard on x86. Agentic means proactive. AI anticipates tasks, automates, learns from you. Microsoft says NPUs are required for efficiency. Critics say it's control. Either way, AI permeates. File Explorer suggestions, start menu predictions, even settings AI troubleshooter. No full opt-out, disable bits, but the core stays. This master plan connects. Kill Windows 10 to herd users to 11, where telemetry builds profiles, recall visualizes activity, and AI acts on it. All hardware gated to sell new PCs. It's not a conspiracy, it's business. Microsoft controls 70% of desktops. Stat counter, 2026. And this locks it in. So, what's your move? Don't panic, upgrade to 11 if on 10. ESU buys time till 2028. Pay $30 per year via their portal for security. That keeps critical patches flowing without forcing the full shift. On 11, start with a telemetry audit. Hit Win plus I for settings. Go privacy and security greater than diagnostics and feedback. Set diagnostic data to required only. That slashes optional uploads like app performance metrics and feedback. Turn off send optional diagnostic data, tailored experiences, and diagnostic data viewer if it's prompting. This alone cuts background pings significantly, as outlined in Microsoft's own controls and user guides from 2025 to 2026. For deeper control, especially on Pro or Enterprise, fire up Group Policy, Win plus R, type G, PEDIT.MSC. Navigate to computer configuration greater than administrative templates, greater than Windows components, greater than data collection and preview builds. Double-click Allow diagnostic data set to enabled, and then drop the level to 1 basic or 0 security enterprise only. Run GP update / force in command prompt after. This locks telemetry tighter than settings alone, blocking enhanced levels that grab browsing data or full crash logs. Home users edit the registry instead, rejet it. HKEY_local_machine /software /policies /Microsoft /Windows /data collection set allow telemetry DWORD to 0. Restart. Tools like O and O shut up. 10++ automate this safely, toggling services like connected user experiences without breaking updates. Kill activity history next. Settings greater than privacy and security greater than activity history. Uncheck everything. Clear the store. Unlink phone link if active. For recall post 24 H2, privacy greater than recall and snapshots. Opt out fully, then task manager greater than check for recall host or AI host, processes and end them. Services.msc, disable sysmain indexing if it's feeding data. Chris Titus text debloat script, when util, strips Copilot, widgets, and EdgeBing, ties in OneGo, run as admin for a clean sweep. Block telemetry endpoints via firewall if advanced. Settings.xml edits, stop vortex-win.data.microsoft.com. Stay on 25, H2 if stable, it's the last universal build pre-split fully supported through 2026. Avoid leaked 26, H2 ISOS. They're unstable on x86, risking boot loops. Hardware-wise, wait for AMD/Intel NPU parity in 2027 chips before Copilot plus Bait. Linux alternatives like Fedora or Pop_OS handle 90% of Windows apps via Wine/Proton, with zero telemetry by design, ideal if privacy trumps ecosystem lock-in. This shift erodes the open Windows we knew. Now it's ecosystems, data-driven, and AI-first. Is Microsoft innovating or cornering? Your call. Did the Windows 10 EOL hit you with pop-ups? Recall toggle working on your setup? Thinking ARM or Linux? Drop it in comments. If this clarified the plan, subscribe for updates. Stay informed. Hey,